What's going on, everybody? So, I'm not behind my typical microphone and camera, and the reason for that is because it's going to be a quick video, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the release of Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, Wyndham Rotunda, whatever you want to call him. The reason why I wanted to get into this is because, for one, it's big news, and quite frankly, I wouldn't do it justice not to not talk about it, especially on my channel. Now, one of the things that, a lot of people and I will feel on this is that this is definitely wasted potential, and it's very disappointing to see what he has come to, what has he amounted to, which isn't much within the WWE construct. They didn't really do much with him, or as much as they could have with him. Granted, he became a Universal Champion twice and a WWE Champion, but, outside of the push that they were giving him, they had this guy go through a lot of hoops, and they really, really hurt this guy's character. Even when he reinvented himself as the Fiend, he lost in a very dire way, and it makes little to no sense to me as to what had happened with the Bray Wyatt character. But, with all that being put and all that being said, the one thing that maybe not a lot of people will feel with me on this is this is a blessing in disguise for Bray. It is. And you might be wondering, well, why is that? Why is that? Well, one of the reasons is because of, with the time off, there were the reports of the fact that he has been struggling with the death of Brody Lee, right? So even during his contract, I'm sure wrestling was the last thing on his mind, and maybe it was, I don't know. But that's what I think. Maybe this will give him time to process the loss of Brody Lee. And at the same time, I also really think that because of the news and how much backlash there was, we heard the chants of "We want Wyatt." I'm just gonna say it right now. The guy's money. The guy's a big name. And I see him potentially getting the call back to be returned. I mean, they were already calling Aleister Black. They called Samoa Joe. I definitely think that they should and probably will call Bray Wyatt back because of just the star power he has alone with that character. WWE is going to realize the mistake that they made. And on top of that, even if he doesn't go back to WWE, the man has so many outlets he can go to. He can go to AEW, New Japan, which would be an interesting one, New Japan, because, well, Bray works a strong style. He's very stiff in the ring, so I think he'd be perfect for that. But at the same time, maybe if his heart isn't in wrestling anymore, if he even wants to wrestle anymore, maybe he can take this time to look at some other outlets in life. There's more to life than wrestling. And I'm sure that's the way he probably sees things right now. He just lost his friend this year. And yeah, a death like that, a death of a best friend, it's going to take its toll, So that's why I think it's a blessing in disguise for Bray. I'm not saying that I'm happy he lost his job by any means. But what I'm saying is, I do think that there are some perks to this release because he probably needs this time to cool off and, not be worried about the next show or whatever, So, with that being said, guys, this was my video. This is my thoughts on the Bray Wyatt release. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of his release. Personally, again, I don't agree with WWE firing Bray Wyatt. In fact, I think that's a really, really bad move on their part. But, just to reiterate, again, I think this will give Bray Wyatt the breathing room that he needs to cope with the death of his friend. And, hopefully he gets back up on his feet.